Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the 22nd episode of the Awarenezzz podcast. Today, we're here with our guest, Nico Barna from Germany. Very nice to see you. And yes, introduce you to the people.
Hey, what's up, guys? So my name is Nico. I'm from Germany, as Matt said. I just turned 22 years old a couple days ago, and I've been a professional swimmer since, or not professional, but I've been a swimmer for like 18 years now. And yeah,
Brother, when did you turn 22? I'm curious.
just on Monday, yeah, the 28th of July.
Okay, because my birthday is the 27th, so I just wanted to
Oh,
know.
really?
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday to you too, then.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Man, and you said that you've been swimming for 18 years. So ever since you were four years old?
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean,
Yeah.
my parents put me into like baby swimming classes when I was very little. Like, that's kind of a thing to do in Germany. They just want their kids to be able to survive in the water. There was no like seriousness behind that. It was just about surviving, basically. So I went to those baby swim classes, and then the instructors were like, "Oh, this guy, he looks like pretty natural in the water. You should send him to like a swim club." And then that's where it all started, basically. My parents were like, "Oh, sure, let's give it a try." We're not really like an athlete family, so it was something new for them. I also simultaneously did a little bit of soccer and handball when I was little. And then I just stuck to what I was most like gifted for, and that was swimming. So from the age of like 5, 6, I started going to my local swim club, just going to practices maybe like 3 times a week, nothing serious, just for fun, basically. But then over time, I just got better and better. So we started going to meets, to competitions, and then I really found a love for it when I was at my first meet. It was like such a surreal feeling, just having all the visitors, like spectators, watching you and racing, and it got my heart bumping. And I was like, yeah, I want to stick with that for the rest of my life.
Which age was your first meet?
I think I was 8 years old. It was just at my local swim club, just like a tournament with all the swimmers from my club only. So it was pretty little already, but for me, as like an 8-year-old, that was like huge already. And then I knew I wanted to stick with that.
That's basically what what caused you to keep doing swimming, right? That was kind of like that experience that in which you said, okay, this is what I actually want to do. And then after that, did you keep playing handball and soccer, or did you just stick to swimming at some point?
So I played soccer and handball and swimming simultaneously up until I was like 6 years old. So I did like 3 years of soccer, 3 years of handball and swimming. So it was always like 2 practices or 3 practices for each sport every week. But then I still love soccer and handball. Both were really cool, but swimming was just the best for me, I guess, what I was most talented for. So I just stuck with that. And then, yeah, what you said, this is exactly why I stayed. I love the excitement of like being at a swim meet. You stand on top of the blocks and you get the chills. Some people think it's kind of like nerve-wracking, and even for me, it's kind of anxious sometimes.
Yeah,
All that excitement, the adrenaline coming up, but that's what I love and why I'm still swimming.
that's great, man.
Also interesting you had the experience when you were 8 years old. I kind of like when I was 8, I was playing like hockey. I mean, I didn't have to. I was like just going to a game and have fun. But that you like experience like as like nerve-wracking, and like all the guys are watching you. Probably like that's what motivated you like to go to the next practice. And then at which age like took you like, of course with 8 you like enjoyed swimming, but when did you take it like really serious and want to make it like to become professional?
Yeah, so that was probably at like age 12. That's when in Germany once I was good enough to make it to like junior nationals. I never really imagined that before. It wasn't like I was 8 years old. I was like, oh, sure, I want to go to the Olympics. I want to do this and that. I was just taking it like day by day. And then on like a random day, I qualified for junior nationals. You always have to like make a cut. So in swimming, it's either you have to be under the top 20 in your age group, or you have to make the certain time cut. And I hit both for the first time ever. And I was super excited because German nationals are always in Berlin, and like probably the nicest pool that we have in our country.
Okay.
And it's just such a different atmosphere. So I was super excited. And then from that day on, I I committed completely to swimming. I started going to morning practices, and in general, like my practices went up from like 5 times a week to like 8 times a week. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then of course, like you said, you've been swimming for 18 years old, and at some point that's the only thing that you've been doing for ever since you're 6 years old. And I mean, I imagine that just when doing the same thing over and over again, you know, for a long period of time, you have a lot of ups and downs. A lot of
Yeah.
the times you're not really motivated, or you're not super excited. Like, how do you deal with those moments? And if you can share with us some of the hardest moments that you've had, and how do you manage them?
Yeah, I think I have a pretty good example for like one of my absolute lowest points in my swimming career. And that was kind of the point where puberty hit, and all my other people from my age group, they just like shot up in like size. They were like 2 or 3 heads taller than me. And I
Mm,
was super intimidated. And that's also the time where they all got faster. And I got a little faster, but not like enough to like compete at the like top 5 level in Germany.
okay.
So that was really frustrating for me. You know, you still have to go to practice like 8 times a week, showing up every day, practicing hard, but you just see all your competitors just get way faster and moving away and away from me. So that was really frustrating, and kind of how I got through that. Like obviously back then I wasn't really that aware of my like mental game, whatever. It was more about just
Yeah.
listening to my coach. But I had a really amazing coach, and I'm just super thankful that she brought me where I am now today, because she always picked me up, was always believing in me, always told me like, I know it's hard for you, but you also will hit puberty eventually. You know, you will grow up, and then it's gonna be fine again. And I just got that reassurance from her, my coach, and from my mom. Like my dad, my brother weren't really into swimming, so it was
Okay.
always just my mom who was with me at all the swim meets, at every practice. She even refereed at most swim meets, because you always need to volunteer some parents.
Okay.
So those people were really what kept me going, because I know a lot of people quit also at my age because of the same reason, you know.
Oh,
They
really?
just realized the gap just got bigger, so they just got demotivated. And I was actually one of the few people, along with a couple of friends, who I didn't want to give up. Like I am very determined. Like I even if it goes bad, like I don't want to quit until like I physically can't anymore. And
Mm,
yeah.
It's great. But
okay.
also, like, for example, like in football, when you play with the older guys, or like you also hit people too late, people often say like you improve your technique the most, because like that's the thing you can focus on the most. Do you think also that helped you with your technique, not just
Yeah,
focus on your strength?
yeah, that's actually a good point. And, like in swimming in general, it's like the most important thing about is technique. Like, I mean, you can put a non-swimmer who's super strong in the gym, in the pool, and he still won't be able to move fast because of the bad technique. So that's also like a time where I just sat aside with my coach, where we were really just focusing on technique, trying to like get a high elbow catch and just really pushing through the water as efficiently as possible. And obviously, at that young of an age, I wasn't really into the gym much yet, so it was mostly just technique training. You can also, yeah, you can only train technique in the water with swimming. You can train the strength outside the water. You don't really need the pool for that. The pool is literally just for like technical training, and that's where I also started getting better at my technique. I got a lot more efficient, and then eventually, when my size caught up too, I felt the boot like I never had that big of an improvement in my life. I went from like a 29.53 to like a 26 within like 1 year. When a three
Okay.
second drop is like a lot in swimming.
No, definitely, man. And I mean, it kind of forces you to go for those things that you actually can work on, you know, because the physical part you cannot necessarily control, physical in terms of your development. But then it's kind of like, okay, they go here, but then you try to go there with the technique. And then when you grow, you go even beyond that. And did you see that difference once you developed, like you had like a more developed technique and everything compared to the other people?
Yeah, so the thing with swimming is like everyone kind of still has like a different technique. So in general, like the most basic techniques are like the same, and you're supposed like they're the perfect technique, but then everyone has kind of their own alternation from like the technique, depending on their body size, of the length of your arms and the legs. And
Okay.
once like clicked and combined, I really did feel the difference, and I got a lot better in swimming. And I also, my mental game was back. Like I got happy again. I found the love for the sport again, which was really important because, you know, swimming is also like such a mentally tough sport because it's kind of boring, to be honest. Like you swim 8 times a week and you just stare at the bottom of the pool for like 2 hours. You know, you swim back and forth and you don't really get to talk much to your friends during practice because you're just so short of air. You don't want any air, so you're just alone for 2 hours. But I see it more like as therapy, honestly. Like I love going to practice because I just get like 2 hours of locked in zone in my zone, and then after that I always feel amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, and we were planning to talk about that a little bit later, but now that you're touching on it, like how do you keep consistency? If is there anything that you have on mind, any frame that you have on mind, just to like considering the monotony of the training in swimming, or of how the competition looks like how do you stay consistent when doing the same thing over and over again?
Well, honestly, like, the answer is quite simple. Like for me, consistency is literally just about consistently showing up to practices, especially on the days that you don't want to. I always get told, like from a young age on, my coaches always said 1 day of missed practice equals 2 days of practice to make up. So that was always the fear in my head. I was like, shit, if I lose 1 day of practice, like I will never catch back up. So I literally never really missed a practice, only when I was like really sick. But other than that, for me, it was always just no matter how I feel that day, I just pull up to the pool. And you don't necessarily need to have a good practice, you know, like it's not about that every single day you go to practice and you have the most amazing practice. Like that's just not possible.
Yeah.
It's more about, you know, showing up every day, trying the best you can. If you feel a little sore, or if you're hurting, you can back off a little bit, you know, but at the end of the day, you will still have those 2-3 amazing practices every week. And then the other practices are just like, all right, or still good. You still showed up. You still did the same as everyone else. Like usually we swim like 5 to 6 kilometers in one practice. So either way, no matter how I feel, I always completed the practice. You know, it's never that I left the pool or something. Sometimes, some days I was just slower. Some days I was faster.
Okay. Yeah.
I also like for your state of mind, like you, even though the practice was not perfect, you didn't have like I don't know, maybe your technique was not perfect, you didn't make any crazy improvements, but you knew you showed up for yourself and went to the practice as you promised yourself. And then also like you mentioned how important your coach and your mom were. And then how do you think like how important is like the team dynamic in swimming? Or like how does it like, I don't know, how does it like how many people go to one training session?
Yeah, so that's a good question because now I can also really compare like Germany to the US. It's like so different. So in Germany, like I switched clubs when I was like 16, 17 when COVID hit, so I could swim while there was COVID going on. So the sizes were a little different. In my first club, we were like 18 people in our training group from like basically the training group consists of everyone who makes junior nationals or nationals.
Okay.
So it was like 18 people, boys and girls together, and we all do the same practices, and it's always divided up by like fast lanes. I mean, every club does it differently, but usually you're in the same lane with the people that are like the same speed as you, or you divide into like waves so that you always swim at the same time as the fastest swimmers.
Okay.
And the team dynamic in Germany is honestly very boring. Like I had my friends and I also did a lot of silly stuff in practice, messing around and having fun, which is also important. But when I came to the US, it was like a whole another level of team dynamics because in Germany, swimming is more of like an individual sport, I felt like. So I was only trying to improve my time, get better myself. I didn't really care what the other people were doing. But now that I came to the US, it's like it just all of a sudden became a team sport. And now we have this semester, I think we have 20 guys on the team. We had like a little more last year, but some of them left, unfortunately. So now I have, and the scoring system is completely different. So in Germany, I just swim my time, it's better or worse, whatever. And I just, I'm happy or not, I guess. And then that's it. But in the US, you have to collect points by ranking. So if you're in the top 8, you get certain points. Top 16, you get certain points. So every single swimmer matters on the team. So now I all of a sudden had to shift my mindset a little bit, which was also a little difficult because I'm more of like a lone wolf. You know, I did my own stuff and then competed, and now I had to like actually take care of my teammates and motivate them too and cheer them on and be like, hey, it's important that you like get on your stuff today and win that race. We need those points, and the energy is so different. That's why I love swimming in the US. Like, you actually have a team that is always there for you. There's like 20 people standing at the wall when you swim, everyone just cheering only for you. And the energy is amazing. You know, people push each other in practice way more, even in the gym. Like, when we hit PRs, the whole gym goes crazy. And all of that stuff, like, I've never experienced in Germany, which was such a huge factor for me, like, continuing to swim. Because honestly, in Germany, after like junior nationals, either you go to nationals, or it's basically it, you know. So for me, I was always a national level swimmer, but I never made it to like European or world championships. Okay. There's like no in between anymore. So you're kind of done. You have like 1 or 2 meets a year that are important. The rest is kind of irrelevant. But then in the US, it's a whole different level, because even you have so many more opportunities, so many more competitions that you can attend to.
And is that basically the reason why you came here to the US to do college swimming? The fact that probably in Germany you didn't have too much competition, but then here it will give you the opportunity to like stay competing all throughout the year and then also do your education?
Yeah, that's exactly the reason. So in like 2019, I already did like an exchange year in Wisconsin. So I lived there. And that was just for fun. You know, I went to high school and I also joined the swim team. And that's when I first like get to know that American like swim culture in general, like with all sports. And that's when I came back. I just finished my graduation in Germany. And then I was like, yeah, I need to go back to the US, because if I study or go to university in Germany while swimming like 8-9 times a week, I just don't think it would have been possible. Like, especially because of the location. Like, I live like 20 minutes away from my pool, and then the university I wanted to go to is like maybe also another 20 minutes away. So that's already like so much time every day that you waste just by driving and getting there. And in the US, especially at my school at Fresno Pacific, like it's such a small campus. So I literally walk like 3 minutes to the pool, to the gym, to my classes. So that alone saves me like hours every single day that I can spend either recovering, eating, resting, studying. And it's like the perfect condition to do your sport in the US, I feel like.
Definitely, man. And now that you said that, now that we're talking about, okay, you came here to the US to do the swimming, and you also mentioned a little bit that you're adding points and you're looking for ranking when you're swimming in here in the US. Like, how does the competition structure look like specifically here? Because we also have a good understanding.
Yeah, for sure. So in America, there's 2 different types of meets. We have dual meet, or actually 3 types. Like, so there's dual meets where you swim against another school. So it's just one-on-one. And to be honest, those are like not too important at Division 2 level. Division 1, it's a little different because obviously they always want to win against their like other schools. At D2 level, like even at my school, like I know we just don't take it that seriously. Obviously, we still want to compete and swim the fastest we can, but it's not something that I get really anxious or nervous about, because I know it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because the meet that really matter is our conference meet. Okay, so that's when you're basically also at the peak of your athletic year. So we start training in September and conference is in February. So that gives us like half a year to get to our peak level. In the beginning, like we're all pretty slow, you know, and with each practice you get faster and faster. Yeah. And also for dual meets, we only wear like our speedos, which are like the short swimming trunks. And then when we go to our important meets, we have the fast skin, like the carbon fiber compression like swim pants, which make people like they don't necessarily make you go faster, but it just gives you a way better feeling in the water, because you're super compromised. The water is just not sticking to you, you know, you're just gliding through the water, and it just gives you a better feeling.
Why don't you wear them every time if it's like better?
I honestly wish we would wear them a little more, and I kind of also started talking to my coaches about that because I think it's also important to practice in that suit because that's when you're the fastest. And I feel like that's always my philosophy that you have to like practice at your fastest to get faster because I really hit my top speed at practice because of either I'm too sore or we only wear the speedos and we're not shaved. So it makes a huge difference. So I started like asking my coaches that we can at least like use our suits like once or twice a week, maybe just for like a quick 50 sprint. You know, it doesn't have to be the whole practice. It's also like impossible. And then another reason is also like those suits are just too expensive and you can't wear them a lot. You know, you get like maybe like 3 or 4 good wears out of one suit, and then the water, the hydrophobic texture, like kind of gets rid of. Like it's still a good suit, you can still wear it, but the water doesn't like deflect anymore, so it absorbs it. And then so like at the pro level, they get like a new racing suit for every single swim. But for college level, we get like 2 suits or 1 suit a year. If you go to nationals, you get another one. If not, you only get 1 suit, so you kind of have to.
And how much is one suit?
So the ones we have right now is like $400.
What the?
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's super expensive. And at home, I used to like my mom. That was always the worst thing to ask my parents. Oh, so it's kind of that time of the year again. I need a new suit, you know, and it's super expensive. And in Germany back then, I still had a lot more competition, so I would need like 2 or 3 suits a year.
Yeah,
and
that was the go-to birthday present.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got them. I kind of always talked them out of giving it for my birthday, so I was a little lucky they gave it to me either way.
Yeah,
but it's expensive, and a lot of people like can't really afford that at a young age. So, and it is definitely like an advantage to swim in those suits. So it's kind of unfair.
The thing is that, for example, I like to swim, especially also because I've gotten injured a lot. I play soccer, but when you get injured, like the main thing that you can do is swimming. So I like to do it. But when you swim at my level, like you're not going super fast, you don't feel the difference between speedos without or anything. But I actually heard an interview of Michael Phelps, and he was talking about like when he had a beard, it was like so much slower. Like at that level, you feel the difference with every little thing, no?
Yeah, it's really funny in swimming, and every time I explain it to like a non-swimmer, it's hard for them to understand because it's like you're swimming in like a different element, you know. So even like shaving, like I mean, right now the beard I have, I would totally shave off when I have a meet,
Like,
and then also for
that,
like everything, like
the eyebrows off.
You shave everything. Yeah, my eyebrows. If I wouldn't care about what other people think, I would probably do that to like everything. Got a buzz cut. Like last year, our entire team got a buzz cut, and we still wear our caps, so it doesn't really matter what hair you have.
Yeah.
But we basically shave, like for every important meet, you shave off every hair on your body, basically, and that gives you another like amazing feeling that I wish you guys would experience, because going into the water while fully shaved. It feels
like Aquaman.
Exactly, like your water, you just don't like everything is cool. You just don't feel any resistance, and you're just gliding through the water. It's amazing.
Oh, that's great. And you talked about like the peak, like your peak in the season. Can you run us like a day of your like when you peak performance? Like what do you eat? Like what is maybe some things you take care more of, or I don't know, like
So I can maybe start at the beginning of the season. So we are in like, I think our last coach, we had like 3 or 4 mesmo cycles of like different practices. So in the beginning, you kind of just start working on your endurance a lot. Like all the athletes, like we have 3 different groups. So there's the sprint group, the mid distance group, and then the distance group. And everyone does the same practice in the beginning just to build your endurance. So it's a lot of long practices, maybe like 6, 7K, and just a lot of endurance stuff, threshold, and you don't get a lot of rest, but you just constantly basically swim and get your heart rate up. And that's for like maybe like 1 month. And then we switch into the next phase where everyone gets their own practices. So I'm in the sprint group, but also I do like half sprint, half mid distance, because I do have that 1/200 breaststroke, which I do need some endurance for, so I can not only do sprinting.
So
So then,
mid distance is considered at 200.
yeah, I would say that's like that's the perfect mid distance.
And then
Yeah,
distance like that.
100, maybe the 400 too. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay.
It also depends really on where you are in Germany, because we swim on in meter pools. It kind of shifts your energy levels, because for like a 200 in Germany, I need like 2 minutes and 20 seconds, but for 200 in the US, I only need like 2 minutes because it's on yards, you know? So it's a lot shorter. So it kind of shifts all the energy levels when you need your endurance, when you need the fast power. But basically, I do the sprint and mid distance, and then the practices drop down to like 3,000 to 4,000 each practice. Mid distance at like 5K, and then distance stays at like 6-7K every single day. So they have it kind of the hardest, if you want to say it. Like they have to suffer the most. But then of course, we as sprinters, we do a lot more like way faster stuff. Like they never hit the maximum that we hit when we do like a 50 all sprint. You get like a lot of rest then, but you're also really gassed out and full of lactic acid, and then you have to go again and again and again. And that's why also for nutrition, like I basically watch out for my food like the entire year, even if I'm in the off season. Like of course I maybe eat a little worse food in the off season, but in general, like I always try to stay healthy, eat a lot of carbohydrates, don't eat a lot of fat, a lot of proteins, and just also the timing of when I eat the food. Like maybe that's just me, but I can't eat right before practice, otherwise I'm gonna actually like throw up. Like that happened to me like a lot of times already. So I always try to time it like 3 hours before practice, just a light snack maybe before. And then when we get to like the competition season, the last phase of our season, like we drastically like drop the yardage right before meet. So instead of 3 or 4K, we only go maybe like 2.5K, and it's basically a lot of just easy swimming and just like a couple sprints each practice, because we don't want to get sore. Before like a big meet, you want to be as well rested as possible. So you try to go down with the yardage, you go up with the intensity, and then a lot of recovery. You know, like I go to the trainer's room like pretty much every day in the competition season. I get the Mark Pro or the boots or just a massage or whatever. With nutrition, I mean, it stays the same because I'm always eating pretty healthy, but just in general, no processed foods, vegetables, everything. And then on meet day, a big breakfast with carbohydrates, mostly like toast, bagels, eggs, something like that, avocado maybe, and then just some like energy bars before the race and lots of hydration, of course.
Okay. And then how does the training look? Because you're saying, okay, the amount of distance that you cover in your training, but I can imagine that it's not only just swimming. Like, how does the training for you guys look like? How do you guys structure it?
Yeah, so I'll just talk about like our like typical practices. So usually you come to the pool like I don't know, like 15 minutes before the practice starts, and then you start warming up, doing some stretching, some dynamic stretching, because you don't want to do like isometric holds. You just do some dynamic stretching, some like push-ups, some like jumping jacks, just to get the body flowing. And then we go into the pool, and pretty much every practice starts the same with like a warm-up. Usually it's like 600 to 1,000 like yards or meters, whatever you want, just of swimming. Like the pace doesn't matter, just swim and like slowly get your body warmed up, get a little feeling for the water. And you usually want to do like different strokes. You don't want to just do 600 meters with freestyle. You want to like switch it up, do some backstrokes, some breaststrokes, and butterfly, just to get every single stroke warmed up. And then after that, we usually go into like the more technical stuff, which is maybe like just like 200-300 meters split up in like 850s or 1050s of technique training. So a lot of time, like sculling is when you only like you put a pull buoy, which is like a board between your legs, so you only use your arms, and then you just try and like feel the water in front of you.
Okay.
That's like a really good technique, because in swimming you always want to try to find the point of like most resistance, because that's when you can like grab the water the fastest, you
Like
know.
it
So
gives you more leverage.
what?
Like it gives you more leverage, that
Yeah,
point of
exactly. So you want to like, that's a really good exercise to really like know exactly when you have the most leverage. And then we also do like some technique training, and then where you focus on like the connection of like the upper body and the lower body. So you, instead of swimming normal freestyle, we do like 3 strokes, and then you do 3 strokes just like laying on one side, just kicking, 3-second count, and you go on the other side. And for breaststroke, which is my like main stroke, the most important thing I believe is like keeping your hips up, because breaststroke is like a kind of a weird stroke. You know, you don't really, it's the slowest stroke by far, because you don't get a lot of propulsion, and also you just stand in the water, kind of like you don't have constant movement like with all the other strokes where you kick all the time. You only kick like once and once. It's a lot about timing and very technical. So you need to get your hips up. So for warm up, I usually like I put a kickboard under my hips to get the feeling of how it feels to be on top of the water, and a lot of like kicking and separating your arms from your legs, and then at the end putting them all together.
Okay, okay. And then how does like outside of the pool, what type of work do you guys do? Because you mentioned like a lot of the technique is gonna be worked. I mean, all of the technique is gonna be worked on the pool, but then for the strength part, which is also a very important factor, you have to go outside of the pool. How does that training out of the pool look like?
Yeah, so first I'm gonna finish real quick with the practice, because that's not over just yet.
Okay.
So we always still get a main set, which is like the hard part of the practice. So for example, we do like 10 100s like at your fastest pace on like fast time. So you maybe get like 10 seconds rest after each 100, and then you go again and again and again. And of course you slow down.
No?
What? It's very draining.
Like intervals, like 10 seconds rest only.
Yeah, like usually we say like 10 100s on like 120 pace, and maybe you hit the wall at like sub minute, then you have like 20. Like it always depends on the stroke. If I do breaststroke, I'm the slowest, so I only have like 10 seconds sometimes, because they don't adjust the times always. And that's basically the main set, like just something really hard, so really fast, and then it's time to cool down. This is the easy part, and then we get to what's happening outside the pool now. So we have gym like 3 times a week, and I also learned like so much more in the US now on how like gym works for athletes, because at home we never really had gym. Like, so I just went to the gym by myself, and I basically just did like bodybuilding training, you know, like 8 to 12 reps, 3 sets, and just bench press, squats, like the usual stuff. And of course I got stronger, but I also got like super not flexible anymore, you know, like super stiff. And I realized like, I don't know if that's like completely helping me. But then when I came to the US, like we had a complete new strength and conditioning program. Like it's not even called gym anymore, it's strength and conditioning now. And it always consists of like a small warm up, and then basically a lot of like biometrics, some isometrics. Also in the beginning of the season, it's more reps and a little harder. And then when you get closer to your important competitions, you go down in reps, you go up in intensity, so that you get sore. But what I really learned the most is like the importance of like biometrics, which is like, it makes me so much more explosive, especially like box jumps. Like I've done so many box jumps by now, and I feel like I can jump so high now, and I can really feel that in the water, because the box jump is basically the pushing off the wall. You know, you kind of always can see how some of your gym exercises relate to water. Of course, you can't really do like one-on-one like training that completely going to translate to the water, but like box jumps, like every time you push up the wall, you basically do a box jump, you know. And then we focus mainly on like the main muscle groups in the gym, because in swimming your entire body, like the small muscles already get trained in the water, but the big muscles you want to train outside. So we do a lot of squats, bench press, hip thrusts, deadlifts and like wait, what is this one called? Like
pull-ups.
yeah, pull-ups, exactly. So
Okay.
yeah, that's kind of how the gym training looks like.
And are you trying to like optimize for power more, so kind of like moving the weight fast, or how does the intensity and the intent of each exercise look like?
That's a very good point, because I actually just like really figured it out this year what I need to focus on. And yeah, it's completely like the explosivity and like the movement of your weight. So we always try to go pretty heavy and maybe only like 6 reps. Now, like I used to do like 8 to 12, but
Yeah.
it's like way too much for, I think, for an athlete. I don't know.
At the end, you were just moving it slow, you know, and like you were like
Exactly.
going through it, right?
Exactly. Like you're just literally like the last rep, you're like barely like moving it up, and that's not like really applicable to a sport. So now we just do like 4 to 6 reps, sometimes 8, and it's just about fast like movement. We do like 80-70% of like the 1 rep max, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go down slow, and then you like go up really fast in every exercise. Like if I do bench press, I go slow and then fast, slow and then fast.
And then also that's probably for your sprint group, and then the long distance group. Do they also go to the gym?
Yeah. So
and then do different ones.
So sprint does the most like in the weight room. We go 3 times a week, and then the distance group, instead of going 3 times a week, they only go, I think, once or twice. But the other times they miss the gym, they go into the pool instead in the morning. So they have more swim practices than we do, but we have more gym practices. And the mid distance is kind of depending on what you like. You can choose if you want to go with the swimmers in the morning, or if you want to go with the sprinters and do some gym workouts. Yeah.
Okay. And then it's all the endurance part and like that in kind of like interval training, kind of like to train more your cardio and your endurance. Is that all done in the pool, or do you also do something like running or maybe bike outside of the pool, or is it all taken care of in the pool?
So yeah, in the US actually we only do that in the pool, which is fine for me. I don't really like to run. Yeah. But in Germany we used to like go running like twice a week actually. Which really? I also definitely thought helped my endurance more, because I think sometimes like it's easier for me honestly to run like 5-6 kilometers at like a decent pace than it is for me to swim like a long distance. Like I'm really bad at long distances, even in swimming. Okay. So it would be easier for me to train my endurance, I think, outside the water, because I can run 5-6 kilometers no problem. But swimming like a 1500 or the mile, what other people do, like I don't think I could physically like do that in enough pace, you know, because I just get super tight after like a couple hundred yards already.
Okay. It's probably better like to improve the technique if you only do swimming all the time. But then let's say you only want to focus on your stamina, maybe it's better if you do it outside, so you don't have to focus on the technique. Like maybe it's training for your mind. I don't like if I just imagine myself if I have to be like, I don't know how long you take for 500. How long is the long distance? Like 1K?
Like the longest is the mile, so it's 1650 yards, and that takes, I think, our fastest guy swims like 15 minutes or something. So, and I can't swim 15 minutes, and they swim it at a crazy pace, you know. Like I can do maybe like 10 or like 5 100s at that pace, but they just do it 15 times over, you know. And that's amazing. So yeah, it's a good idea to like train outside and maybe find something else that works for you. And maybe I gotta experiment more with running or training my stamina outside the water.
Yeah, a big eye opener for me, man, was when the Olympics. Whenever the Olympics go, one of the like the main thing I look is swimming. And every time there was the Olympics, I would always get into swimming class afterwards. But one of the main things in the last Olympics was Katie Ledecky. Is that how you call it?
Yeah, Katie Ledecky.
She does distance, and the distance that I normally swim is like 1.5K, sometimes 2K, and I would take like 45 minutes for that, man. And when I saw her doing that in like 14 minutes, I was like, yeah, I'm shit, you know.
Yeah, no, she's just absurdly like amazing. Like you can even when you watch the field, like she touches the wall like so much ahead of everybody else. Like no one is even remotely close to her. So it's not just you, yeah, it's just like everyone. She's just so good. And what impresses me most with her is that she's so old now, you know, like
Yeah,
I thought like long ago she would be out of her like prime, but then she still hits world records or personal best, which is just absurd. Like I want to know what she's doing to keep that performance up at that age, you know?
no, yeah, it's amazing, man. And also now that you were talking a little bit of how you train during the season and how it changes from stage to stage. I mean, right now you're in off season, so I also want to we also want to get a sense of what do you normally do in the off season? How do you approach it? Especially considering that for America for college we have 3 months of vacation. So how do you approach it? How do you take care of it?
So like to be honest, like in swimming there's not really like in the US there's an off season, but in Germany like usually or in Europe like swimming is like a year-round sport. So we start in August and we end like last like we actually just ended practice like 2 days ago. You know, so that was our last practice. So we get like 2 or 3 weeks off in the summer.
Okay.
So because in swimming, like you need to be in the water all the time. Like if I don't go swimming in like 2 months, like I'm so far back again, and then it takes me so long again to get into shape.
Yeah.
So I don't like that. Some people they actually just take the whole summer off, which is totally fine. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do if that's better for your mental health, then that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, like I'm just too afraid of like losing touch with the other people. So I want to stay in shape. So I swam every single day since I came back home, like five times a week, and then I try to hit the gym as much as I can too, up until like last week, and then now because I have some like vacation going on, I'll take like the next 2 weeks off until I get to FPU again, and
Okay.
then that's basically my off season.
Like a little deload before going back.
Can you say that again?
Doing like a little deload before you go back.
And I think that's like so important, especially for my mental health. Like I definitely had like ups and downs during the season where I'm like, oh my god, like I can't do this anymore. Like swimming every day, getting up at like 6 a.m. in the morning sometimes to practice, like it's hard. So like taking at least a couple weeks off a year is like so important for me because it just gives me like that mental rest, my physical rest. I'm like for the first time I'm not sore like every day, you know. And then I think it's always also good for my technique to take a couple weeks off because like if you stick to one technique, it's kind of like engraved in your brain, so you always do the same. So even if you do it wrong, like you always continue to do the wrong move or
It's
pull
like
your arm out. So if you take a couple weeks off, you kind of like you a little bit forget about the right technique, and so when you go into the water again, you kind of have like a fresh start, so you can adjust your technique a little easier. For me personally, I think
like
that's
a
always
discovery process again, no?
exactly. So you like just start over, and this time I'll just do it better this time to start it off, and then once I do that a couple times in practice, it should be like that for the rest of the year.
And I can also imagine after 18 years of swimming, maybe 2 weeks you take off, and then you're looking forward to swim again.
Yeah, because honestly, like it's hard not to swim. Like it's just been like 3 days now without a practice, but
Yeah.
it's a weird feeling, you know. Like today I slept in until like almost 11 a.m., which I don't really get to do ever. And then I feel a little lost too, you know. I feel like a lot of athletes feel lost when they can't do their sport because it takes up so much of your life, and then all of a sudden there's nothing, you know. Like you just have all day free, you don't know what to do with yourself. So that's
Definitely.
also
Yeah, and I mean, it's also important what you mentioned that it's not that everybody has to take 2 weeks off or everybody has to take the 3 months off, but it's just about knowing yourself and seeing what works for you, right?
exactly like everyone is a little different, especially for swimming. Like I know friends, they can literally be out of the water for like a month and then they come back and they're immediately like back in shape. Like I admire them. Like I don't know how they do it. But then there's people like me, I feel like it takes me very long to get into shape, and then that's why I don't take that much rest, because I know it's just going to take too long. Other people, they can just go back to practice after a month of not swimming, and they're of course not at their highest level again, but they're in good shape, you know. Like for me, my first practice is always like, I'm always kind of scared of the first couple practices, because I'm actually going to suffer like so much, like it's going to hurt so bad. And then to just avoid the pain, I just continue swimming to make it less painful in the beginning.
Exactly. It's not necessarily about avoiding the pain or avoiding the hard, but just acknowledging that it's gonna happen no matter what, and being okay with that. No.
Yeah, you just have to, like, everyone has to feel that pain. You have your whole team behind you who they're all going to do the same. They're probably all in bad shape, you know. So it's also important to have these people around you, because if I would just swim by myself all day, like that would be super hard, you know, to get that motivation. But having everyone in the pool pushing you, and you see everyone suffer, you know, it's a good feeling to know you're not the only one, you know.
Of course, brother. Of course. No, I'm really glad that we had the chance to talk, man. Because I mean, swimming is something that is a sport that really fascinates me, and I've never had the chance to talk with a proper swimmer, somebody that does at the highest level. And I just appreciate you taking the time, man. Like I got so much valuable stuff from here. Just a simple fact of just keeping consistent, even though you're doing the same thing, and not seeing pain or hard as a signal to stop, but just something that you have to acknowledge that is going to happen, and just swim through it at some point, you know, just keeping that consistency. And that's what ultimately going to get you to the higher level. I don't know if Matsi, you have anything else, brother.
No, I really enjoyed the talk. I was like, I knew some stuff on swimming, but of course not that much. And also like the big change, like going from a German team to the American team, like the whole different team culture. And also like the point you mentioned when you didn't hit like puberty late. Of course, like for a football guy or like a hockey guy, it's like you just keep going, like you improve your technique. But then for a swimming guy, it's like it's way more training for your mental part, because like you can't get the time up even if you improve your technique. So I think it's really amazing how you stick through it. 18 years. And what's your, for the future, what are your plans?
Yeah, so I'm actually, that's like kind of where I'm at right now with life, thinking a lot about like what's going to happen after I graduate. I'm going to be senior at Fresno Pacific this semester, so it's my last like year of college swimming. And I'm also like, I'm a business management major, so I'm going to like graduate with that, and then I definitely plan on going back to Germany. And my goal is to actually keep swimming for as long as I improve. Like I just don't want to give up. Like even if like whatever my dreams are not achievable, like I just want to continue for as long as I improve my times. I think once I hit that like plateau where I just don't improve anymore or get worse and worse, that's when I probably will quit swimming like professionally. But I will always like swim probably for the rest of my life, just because it's such a big part of me, and I enjoy it too. Like the pain, I like the pain because it's a very rewarding feeling.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely have like, I hopefully like at least like 1 or 2 more full seasons in Germany when I get back of swimming. Because I also, you know, I never got the chance to compete in Germany again, because for the last 3 years I've only been swimming in the US. So I'm very excited to see actually how much I improved, because now I can go back to the meter pool and actually look at my best times for before I went to the US and see if I actually improved. Because it's hard to look at the yards time and be like, oh, I mean, this is like 10 seconds faster than your meters time, but it's hard to like convert the time, you know?
Yeah.
So I want to really see how much I actually improved, and I already had like a couple meets and I did improve my meters time, so it's already good. But with like a full season of training in Germany, I think I can do like so much better.
Okay.
And that's kind of my plan. Academically, I realized business not really my thing, so I might go to medical school here and do medical degree again. But I still got like a year to figure that one out.
Okay. But then in terms of the swimming part, it's just non-stopping until you can, right?
Exactly. And then for entertainment, I kind of got into tennis this year a little bit, just
Oh yeah.
playing for fun. And I think that's also something I want to continue, because swimming is not like the fun sport you imagine. You don't play a game, you just work hard all the time. So I
Yeah.
kind of wanted to get like good at a sport that I would also have fun, playing. And I
I
started
see.
playing tennis a little bit, and I could imagine myself like just playing, a couple times a week, some small tournaments, and just having a little more fun while also like being active and doing a sport that's also hard.
Yeah, no, it also helps you to kind of detach a little bit of just swimming, swimming, swimming. So you do something else, and then when you go back to swimming, you're even like more motivated. You're more fresh because it's not everything that you've done, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's basically it.
Perfect, man. Now, if you're cool with that, we can go through some rapid fire questions just to finish it off, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'm ready. Shoot right ahead of me.
So when you're in America, what's the thing you miss the most from back home?
What I miss the most is honestly all my friends from college. Like,
Mm,
yeah, I feel like I have two separate lives, one in Germany, one in the US, and I definitely miss all my friends there.
okay, okay. That's when you're in Germany and you miss your friends from the US.
Yeah, and then when I'm in the US, I miss all my friends from Germany.
Okay, okay, I
It's
see.
always hard, yeah.
Okay,
Okay. What's your favorite American food chain?
let's see. Let's see.
Favorite, I'd say In-N-Out. I love going to In-N-Out. We usually go as a team after almost every swim meet. I just love
Okay.
the what are they called, the fries with the cheese on.
I
But
never
then
had
Oh,
it.
wait, you guys don't have In-N-Out. You guys don't have In-N-Out on your side.
that's only in California. That's what I was gonna ask, no?
Yeah, it's only like yeah, West Coast kind of.
Okay. And
In-Out's
man,
good.
what's your favorite memory since being in the US? And this can be inside of the sport or outside of the sport.
Yeah, I would have to say honestly, going with my like close friend group to Yosemite last semester over spring break. We went to Yosemite National Park. We went hiking, and
Okay.
like it was probably the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Like
Really?
this national park is so amazing. We went all the way to the top and just chilled out there and talked and had a good time. And all these kind of trips were what's worth it for me, being there, just going places, visiting.
That's great, man.
Amazing. Then what do you do on a long bus ride, like for competition? Yeah.
Honestly, it's different. Like sometimes when we leave in the morning, I just sleep through the
Mhm.
whole bus ride. On the way back, that's when we like get excited, depending if we won the meet or not. Like we just bump music hella loud, and then we
Yeah.
go crazy. Sometimes I watch soccer games, because in Germany with the time difference, it's always perfect to watch a good Dortmund game on the way to your swim meet. Yeah.
Okay, brother. And do you have a pre-competition routine that you normally do?
Yeah, like on my important meets, for the dual meets, I don't really do that. But for like conference meet, like I feel like really changed as a person. Like I completely lock in. I put in my headphones. I kind of get into the zone. Don't really talk to other people a lot. I warm myself up. I try not to sit around too much. Try to move a lot. And then right before my start, I I get some caffeine pills, get some caffeine in me, and then I just warm up, sit, and just really try to visualize my race. And I
Yeah.
try to block out all the like outside noise, all the bad thoughts, all the like nervousness. I try to like just convert them into positive thoughts. Like if I get a thought, oh my God, like what if I'm gonna lose this? I'm gonna be like, no, but what if I'm gonna win this? And
Yeah.
then I just get into the zone. Once I take my headphones out, it's time to like get on the block, and then I just go all out.
Okay. Okay.
Good. Okay, Nico, imagine the scenario. You just got out of a training practice. What meal would you like to see on your plate?
Honestly, like I love pasta, and I think I would love to have like a good pasta bolognese on my plate. That's
Okay.
one of my favorite dishes for sure.
I thought he was gonna say kebab, bro. Every
Oh,
person says.
okay. Actually, I might have to change that answer. Kebab is actually, yeah. That's actually also what I miss the most in the US is the kebab. We'll put kebab. I miss it so much.
You know, I made a kebab for Matt the other day, man. He told me
Really?
and he told me that they was better than any Turkish restaurant, anything that he's tried in Germany.
Yeah,
That was that good, huh?
but we didn't. It was kind of hard to do the original, so Camille has to come to Germany.
Yeah, you have to try the
Try
original.
Berlin döner.
I mean, every German,
Yeah.
every Scandinavian says that kebab is the best thing that they've ever tried. So I have to figure it out, man.
I don't know how it is in Scandinavia, honestly. I
Oh,
can
it's good.
just speak for it. It's good too. Okay, that's because I know a lot of people. I had some people from France tell me, "Oh, their kebab is good too," and I tried it, and it's so bad. Like,
No, Sweden is
the only good kebab I had was in Germany.
no, Sweden is also good.
Okay, that's good. I'm going to Sweden actually next week to visit some of my friends there, so I'll try it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to try the kebab, man.
Yeah, I actually I'm not even joking. I think since I came home in May, up until now, I probably had like 30 to 40 kebabs. Like
What the fuck?
I love it that much. Like at least twice a week or something.
Oh,
Like that's how much I love it.
bro, that's almost every day.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a big passion of mine.
Yeah, we don't have kebabs in Colombia, man.
Yeah, it's too bad. You gotta come here and try.
Yeah,
it.
definitely. I mean, I will go there and I'll get a kebab every day, bro, just to see what's all the
Yeah.
talk, man.
There's so many different ones too. You know, you need to try everyone.
You told me the Duna kebab, no?
Yeah, that's döner is like the pita or the pizza bread. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you have the dürüm is like the tortilla wrap.
Okay. What's
I
the best?
actually like it's hard. I used to be a Durham guy, so I only ate the wrap. But now, honestly, I've discovered like a couple good places where they have nice bread, and then the doner kebab is definitely the best.
Yeah, I was all about to say like it's harder to fuck up a döner than fucking up a dürüm. So
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Like if I go get a Durham, it's always, I know it's reliable no matter where I go, what dark place in the city, they're always going to deliver. But the kebab, the doner kebab, you need to have some good bread.
Like some good skills. Okay. No, man, I have to try. I have to try it.
For sure.
Brother, and do you prefer morning or night practice?
Oof, definitely night practice. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate morning practices. Like I'm not a morning person at all. It's nice. Like I kind of like it because I hate it. It makes you stronger. Waking up when you don't want it, that's what like gets you going. But
Yeah.
if I had to choose, like evening practices are so much easier. Like here at home, I start practice at 7 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. So I only get home at like almost like midnight sometimes, and I have no problem. I love it.
Okay, I see.
oh, sorry, I was like something that is in your bag 99% of the time.
Like 99% of the time. Honestly, since I moved to the US, I gotta say it's my water bottle. That's the thing we don't have in Germany. Walking around with your water bottle.
Yeah.
I always have water bottle with me now.
Okay, brother, and what's your favorite and least favorite swimming style and why?
Oof. Easy question. I absolutely
Press.
hate butterfly. Like it's horrible.
Okay.
Like I'm not flexible enough to do that. It's so hard. I can do a 50 and after that I'm literally dead. Like I cannot move anymore. And then my favorite breaststroke for sure.
Okay.
No, I hate breaststroke. Well, like Nico and me, we used to have swimming classes together.
Yeah.
Bro, the breaststroke, my hips were fucked up afterwards.
I imagine
He did so good though. Like Mats was so good in swimming. Like
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. I imagine you bet him every time, right?
Bro, like one time I tried to, I don't know, like we were in the same lane. I was like looking up, was like he was on the wall already. I was just jumped. Like crazy.
swimming classes always used to be fun.
Yeah. Okay, then you favorite swimming moment now in the whole career.
My favorite swim moment. Honestly, I think it's definitely my first time going to nationals. Like as a young kid, that was always my dream. And then like I literally get goosebumps thinking about the moment. So that's gotta be it. Like it's just such an amazing feeling to be at the national level competing against the best. That was in Berlin, like in different city, having so many people watch you. Because swimming doesn't really get a lot of viewership often, but that meet is full of people. Like every single stand is full. So That was my favorite moment.
Did you swim in the big center?
In the big center, like
I don't know, was like where the was like
yeah,
the-
it's kind of like a stadium. Like it's like so the pool's in the middle, and then you have like the stands on the left and right side, and you're like right in the middle of them. And yeah, it's an amazing feeling, and I can't wait to compete again. I missed nationals the last 3 years because they're always while I'm in the US, and I really can't wait. That's my favorite meet ever. Yeah.
That's great, man. And then just to finish it off, brother, one final piece of advice that you would give to a younger athlete, somebody that's starting out.
Honestly, I would say try to be as versatile as possible, meaning that try out a lot of different sports. Don't just stick with one sport from a young age. Like do what I did, play some football, play some handball. And it also helps you in the future, because if you only do one sport your whole life, you're gonna miss out on a lot of like coordinative like features, like being able to catch a ball. So try out a lot of different sports and then stick with what you like the best, and always have fun and love your sport.
That's perfect, man. That's perfect. And as I told you before, I really appreciate you, brother, taking the time. And I really enjoyed the talk, man. So just looking forward to having another one just anytime soon, and we can have another chat, another one of these, and we can run it.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you guys so much for having me. It was a pleasure
Appreciate your
talking to you
time.
guys.
It's nice.
Of course, brother. I wish you the best this upcoming season, and then also in the vacations that you're going to, man. Just so you
Thank you guys so much.